Coach. Coach will start with an opening statement, and then we'll go ahead and take some questions.
Really pleased with how we played because we had unequivocally, without a doubt, y'all go to your thesaurus and find better words, the worst practice we've had in 4 years yesterday. Very little focus, very little attention to detail, very little energy. And, you know, there's a lot of reasons that can be the case because we're headed into finals and we're still riding emotional wins. Things like that. There's a lot of reasons, but those were all excuses. So we said at the end of practice, the only way that you can make up for that is to come out really focused and have a great game. And I thought they responded really well. So proud of them for that. Not proud about the practice and our habits, but we'll get that fixed between now and when we got to go play at Euler.
Just the start, though. I mean, to be able to have that big of a lead at halftime and just the way you guys played, I would imagine you have to be pretty happy with everybody stepping up and playing the way they did.
And the way they did it, not just that they did it, but the words they were using to each other, the little mini games within the game. Hey, don't look at the score. We got to, you know, hold to our standards and, you know, don't turn it over and really guard. The defensive effort in the first half, it was as talkative as we've been. It was as stick to the game plannedness, whatever that word is, that we've had. So that really happy. Feel like we got a lot better today for sure.
Oh boy, go ahead.
Can you talk about, do the kids realize or talk about the fact that you're playing an in-state opponent, or is that just another opponent to them? What's their view?
Well, I think the fact that our men played the exact opponent yesterday was good for us because a lot of those kids come and watch and they saw how much it means. And we talked about it. Not everybody understands it, grasps it, feels it like us old timers do that know that this game is not normal to play in season, really ever, but specifically in season. So I think they appreciated it, but I think at the end of the day, they take that and then they go, yeah, but we talk about every game just being another game. So I think you got to allow them to do that. But you could tell, you know, from yesterday to today, there was a tremendously different attention to detail and focus.
Seth, go ahead.
Mike, what have you learned about your team and the fact of that they are taking care of business in games that they are, you know, favored and supposed to take care of business?
Yeah, which is not easy to do. And we've had to win the last 3 games, 3 different styles. That's what I'm the most proud of, Seth, that, you know, one team really challenged us at the arc and made us drive it. Another team took away the basket and forced us to make threes. This one gave us the mid-range. This was that in between. So 3 games, 3 different styles, 3 different uses of tactics. And then I think too, you continue to see a balanced attack and a really good job of taking care of the basketball. We finished with 9 turnovers, but I think 6 or 7 of them were really late in the game when they started pressing for the first time at the end of the game.
Russell, go ahead.
What do you think of Chelsea's game? She mentioned that she was kind of looking for the easy shot as opposed to putting her head down and trying to drive something and create something that's not there.
Yeah, she did. And I think that's, you know, that's the maturity that she sees from now that she's had a chance to watch a little film of herself and see that take what comes. Don't try to force, don't try to go do these things that, you know, the WNBA and all these message boards are talking about. Do what the defense allows. And I thought her shot looked really good coming off of her hand the last couple of days. And then tonight, really good. I was proud of her for taking good quality shots. I think she'll go back. She'll be harder on herself than I will on her, but I think she'll look at her, you know, her overall 20 minutes and realize that I think she was real efficient.
Kyle Sutherland, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I know that usually some of the first ones off your bench are Jalen and Aaron, but I noticed that Riley got some early minutes tonight. Was that just something that you saw that she's having some good days of practice, or you saw a matchup? What was it?
No, she's been really good, and she's always been working really hard. The first, you know, several games she had to be the other team's best player. And sometimes when you do that, you start to gain some confidence because you play loose, you play free. You're not having to play. You're going out being somebody else. And I think that started to carry over. And she's right there on the cusp, with Marquisha out, it was just a natural sub. Let's just get Riley those exact minutes and the exact rotations so that if we have to have a situation later in the year with people not being available, and Riley's been really, really good in practice. She too plays a lot of positions, and you probably won't see the benefit of that until next year and the year after. But she is doing a really good job for us.
Jason, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, just what's it like? I know you've been honoring her for the last couple of days, but, to be able to honor that 600th win today before the game and just what she's meant to this program.
Well, we don't have it. I mean, it's not what it is without, first of all, her agreeing to come play here and then stay here. The number of times that she stayed here through coaching changes, through changes of position on the staff, didn't matter. And Amber and I graduated college side by side, neighbors in Nicholas. We sat next to each other. We've shared an office 2 or 3 different times in the different stints that she stayed, and they didn't ask me to stay around. I had to leave. She got to stay. So that just tells you how valuable she is. And I said it in the pregame and to Phil, and I'll tell you all, I didn't have any stipulations in my contract about coming here except for the fact that I'm not doing it unless Amber Shirey can stay. It was that big of a deal. She is that important to what we do. And, I tried to get her to negotiate in her contract that she get paid $1 for every time her name is said in the office, or that she gets an email from somebody asking, not even in our department, across the department, institutional knowledge, passion, love. And it's easy to walk a recruit into there and go, this is it. This is Razorback women's basketball right here. Regardless of whether the role is, being the point guard for the team or being a recruiter or being, the person that does our team meals, she attacks it with a janitor's mentality that we hope everyone, and our kids do. Our kids know. I mean, they jump in and do everything they can do for Miss Amber. And I'm just, we started researching it. Mari and I started researching it probably last year. I've always felt like we don't honor assistant coaches and people around it. The head coach always gets a plaque or a statue or something framed. We don't honor the other people. And I was adamant about us being able to do that. And hey, I'll put it in perspective. You'll have to check my number. Don't quote me on the number because I'm just spitballing, but I think Nolan won 397 games as a Razorback. 397, 600 as a Razorback. It just, I'm sure Coach Van Horn's got more than that because they play a bunch more games, but I just don't know. There's very many places that have an assistant coach who's been a part of 600 wins over the longevity and a playing career and the changing. I'm glad we got to do it. And it's so cool that the 600th one was against Baylor, and we were joking, and Mari and I were joking about it. We're like, hey, that'd be really cool if Baylor was 600, right? And it worked out. So, but that's just fitting for her because she's done everything that is asked of her and many, many more.
All right, does anyone else have any more follow-ups for Coach?
I've got one, Mario.
Oh, one more. Go, Seth.
Well, with the lack of focus you talked about in practice, are you going to do anything different with this week off with finals happening? Yeah,
we're going to do individual skill work for 2 days after a day off, do individual skill work. So one-on-one, very, very small group for 2 reasons. One, I think that gives us the best chance to not potentially infect anybody in contact trace. That's the number one thing. And then secondly, it's just that time of the year. Everybody's schedules are different. So we want to try to respect that. And then we will have a day or two where we do some half the team for an hour and then half the other team, the other half for an hour again. As y'all can tell, I'm sure if you watch us, we try to do everything that we can control when it comes to contact tracing. It's if just the not going in at halftime, the way we warm up, the way we do post games, all that's designed to get us to the next game. So it'll have a 2-prong attack this week, Seth. It'll be stay healthy, and then get individually better and get better as a team. I think Arkansas Little Rock will be, our other than the Baylor game, one of our toughest games that we've had in about a month. So the focus has got to get back going into their home arena. And I know our kids will be able to do it. You're going to have every year you have a worse practice. You have to. That's just the way it works out. Yesterday, hopefully we don't top that. Hopefully yesterday was it. And it stays the worst practice that we've had all year, that all the way through the end.
All right, everybody. That'll wrap it up. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, y'all.